Hello. Okay. I hear sounds.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
All right, there it is. All right. Okay, cool. So we see you, because we actually kind of have a set, like kind of like you have your set
Yeah.
behind you. We have our set.
Yeah.
So I can't really see my view
Yeah.
Can you see us?
No.
at all.
That says your
Yeah, I see
camera
where
is
we would
disabled.
What is it? What's
Your
disabled?
camera's disabled.
What? Good.
We
Here, let
should
me
be
see if I
appearing
can
that
ask
way.
to start video.
All right, hang on here.
You're good.
Nigel.
I'm still a noob at Zoom. I'm used to using OBS and other programs, so I was just like tinkering like an old man, like, what the hell am I doing?
Okay, there we are.
Oh,
Yes.
that's
There we are. Okay.
a giant Nigel face.
Hello, Nigel. From the wild
Right?
thornberries, I assume.
Everybody says that. I've never watched the show.
How
Ever.
dare you?
Tim Curry
How
was
dare you?
phenomenal. You would be Tim Curry.
I would be Tim Curry. Okay, I'll take that as a positive because I do love Tim Curry. So I'm going to try to raise this up a little bit.
How are you this evening?
I'm good. How y'all doing?
We're good. We're good.
Let me figure out how to adjust my angle here so people can see my mug. Okay. Also, digging the setup. Digging the setup. Is that you got a metal skull down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we got kind
Nigel,
of a.
and you go by Monica, right? Or do you go by anything else?
MK.
Yeah, it's MK.
MK Ultra.
MK is
Gotcha.
my stage name.
MK Ultra. You got it. You got it.
I don't like that. Now I have to change my name.
That'd be a cool name. Okay, give me 1 second. Do you mind that I end the video for a second to go back to my file folder to make sure it's actually recording so we can use this?
Absolutely.
And then
Yeah.
whenever we do get done, if you want, I can send the file to you as well so you can use it for your own podcast and whatever else you want to use it for.
Cool. So you're going to end the meeting and you're going to send another link then, or?
I'm not sure if it's going to be this. I would assume oh yeah, it's going to be a different link. Yeah, so I'll just send you another link in just probably about 30 seconds.
Okay, yeah, just email it to me. Let's go.
Okay, I'll be right back.
All right.
Oh wait, I could just leave meeting and then come right back.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know actually.
I don't know if it'll keep recording though. Let me experiment here. Let me see. Okay.
There you go.
We got it. We got it. All right.
This meeting is being recorded.
Please leave your voicemail after the tone. So MK and Nigel, how's your day going?
Good, good.
Night
Long,
now, I guess.
busy.
Okay, and where are you guys from?
Long.
Indiana, both of you?
No,
No, you go ahead.
I'm from Southside. I'm
So sword.
yeah, Southside.
What's up?
Born and raised Hegewisch. Hegewisch
Is that really
in
the
Cal
South Side,
City,
though?
and yeah, it's
Are you
called.
sure?
It's the actually
I don't think it is.
in Hegewisch there's
I have to beg to differ with you.
in Hegewisch there's literally signs that say the farthest south side suburb of Chicago.
Well, I have not seen those signs. Okay,
Well, then I'll have to take you there and show you.
All right, sweet.
They're like 5 minutes from my house.
What? Seriously? I've been by your house like a million times. Even
Like
5
over
minutes
in
away.
Hegewisch.
I've been 5 minutes away, literally from your house. I've not seen
Yes,
those
but
signs.
you've never gone into Hegewisch. It's usually just the expressway.
All right, far out.
Are
man.
you
All
saying Hedwig? Hedwig?
Hegewisch.
Oh, okay.
It's that South Side supposed slang.
I'm all about that West Side slang, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay. So what do you guys do as far as so I think you run a podcast and are you both musicians as well?
Well,
Sure.
we're basically a hodgepodge.
Yeah.
We run under Nigel David Productions.
Okay.
And we are the Sunflower Conundrum.
Yep.
You
We
said the
also
Sunflower Conundrum?
yeah, which is our music project.
Okay, cool.
And then we're also part of the Red Hot Shark, which is another is a friend of ours, the Rev.
Okay.
Ryan Beal, who's an incredible artist.
Yep.
Cool.
That's a person you should definitely want to check out for your
Okay.
podcast.
Yeah, yeah,
brilliant guy. And
The things he does with foam.
Yeah, so he's
You
a
say with
sculptor.
foam?
Yeah, with foam. Yeah, he's a sculptor.
With spray foam from a
And-
can.
Yeah,
And he shaped it into a teddy bear and hands that are with fingers crisscrossing. And
Oh, we definitely have to get him on here then. Yeah, that's interesting.
fascinating. His brain is a very strange and.
If you visit it, you don't come back the same. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
He is literally the sanest man I know.
1,000% sane.
That's cool.
1,000% sane. And if you meet him, you'll know, and you'll remember that literally 1,000% sane, and you'll be like, look at him like, okay, yeah, I get that. That's funny. That's funny.
Makes sense. This makes sense. So you guys, it's Night of the Living Jam. Is that what you do for like podcast, or what's that you got going on?
So okay,
videos.
Yeah. So the Hodgepodge also is so she's also a poet, an amazing poet. She actually, these amazing words that come out of this woman is just, we use them for Sunflower Conundrum.
Yeah.
She's in charge of the words, and I'm in charge of the music.
Okay, cool.
But to see her to hear her poetry and feel her poetry is, so she does that. I'm also a stand-up. I do stand-up comedy.
Okay, so you do like open mic nights. Do you guys have a comedy club around?
Yeah, we did. We had like 3, and they all went. They all went to. I don't know if you can cuss or no.
We don't have one around here either. Like, you'd have to go to St. Louis to find a comedy club, and I don't even know St. Louis has one.
They should. They probably do.
So I was on Monday. I was at Riddles, which is a very famous comedy club on the South Side, the real South Side, not the English crap.
Shut up.
So Riddles is like a place you go to get discovered.
Yeah.
So. And but unfortunately, my comedy is so long-winded because apparently, I mean, I'm a very direct person.
Yeah.
I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. I'm very truthful.
Yeah.
I stand for the American way, and I'm and the 10 Commandments and the whatnots.
Yeah.
And if you go on even further with this, see, this is what I got to deal with. So this one rambles on all the time. Unlike me, I just talk normal.
Yeah.
But apparently my comedy bits are a little bit too long for 4 minutes, so I have to kind of shave that down, but I enjoy the challenge. So, and then on top of that, we do find time for Night of the Living Jam.
And the videography.
And the videography, we also do videography. We have again under Nigel David Productions.
Yeah.
I'm the principal videographer. She's like secondary, and that we have recorded a lot of amazing people. We've recorded everybody. And the pinnacle was you got to record President Joe Biden.
Yes, I did.
What?
And I actually got to be on stage.
You got Sleepy Joe?
All this behind.
See, the thing is this. We got handed a deal.
I thought you were going to say we got hammered.
We got handed.
We actually did get hammered on the way.
Yeah. We got handed a gig that we could not pass up.
Yeah.
And that was doing videography for the local 551,
the auto workers,
Ford Auto Worker Union out of Headwish.
Yeah.
The South
Side. And because of that, we got to meet state representatives. We got
senators,
congressmen. We got to meet the mayor of Chicago.
Oh,
who, by the way, is an amazing speaker, he's an amazing speaker.
What's her name? Lightfoot?
Yes, I got to meet.
No, that's not Lightfoot. It's Brandon King. Brandon. Mayor Brandon. I don't remember his first name. It's Brandon.
Brandon Johnson.
Is that Brandon Johnson? Okay, so that guy we said we were on stage with and everything, we have no clue what his name is. And apparently he's an important person in Chicago. But I'm going to chalk that up to her fault.
And then we also got to go and see President Biden make a speech.
In Belvedere.
Interesting.
So we got to document. And so we do that. And then again, Night of the Living Jam.
Yeah.
Which is basically when we met.
Yeah.
It was so I don't know how much time do you have?
I've got at least 2 hours. We can go as short or as long as we need. I think Zoom does give us a time limit of 40 minutes, and then we'll have to log out and then jump back in because that's how they hook you to pay for the full premium or whatever.
All right, wow. So just because I want to, because
capitalism,
because of the way we met, it's a very good story. It's a very amazing story the way we met.
Yeah,
I'm here
for it.
So this is what happened. Okay. So there's a place. It's a magical place. It's called Paul Henry's Art Gallery. And
Paul
again,
Henry's Art Gallery?
Yeah, Paul Henry's Art Gallery.
Okay.
Which is run by Dave Mueller, and we give all props to Dave Mueller because he's the backbone of this area's. There's a few people that in this area of Northwest Indiana and the South Side of Chicago.
Yeah.
And so there's a few pillars of the community, and Mary Levan is one. Dave Mueller is pretty much the main one, and there's a couple of others that and I think we've become a pillar in the society too.
Yeah,
I'd like to think so.
So, but the way we met, I had been married, unhappy, miserable.
Yeah,
you name it. It was the worst time in my life. Oh my gosh, seriously.
Yeah, I feel you.
Hang on. Let me get out of it.
He's in a K-hole. He's in a K-hole.
Okay. But once I got out of that marriage, I wanted to get back to who I was, because before I was a single dad.
Yeah.
When I was married, I was not married to her mother. It's the whole thing. But I was a single dad. Had my daughter 4 hours after she was born.
Yeah.
So I had to give up everything. And I was a touring musician. I was a comic.
Had a lot going on.
I was living the life, dude. I was on the road living the life.
Having fun.
But I gave it up for my daughter because it's the best thing I've ever done.
Yeah.
She's the light of my life.
Paige is awesome.
And her name is Paige. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks just like me. It's really weird because she's like 19-year-old girl with a beard. It's weird.
I was not expecting that.
She was so mad if she heard you say that.
Oh, that's awesome.
But anyways, as she got older, I was able to get out and leave her on her own and get back to who I was.
Yeah.
So
back to the roots.
I had an idea of making this show about a schlub like me who's been out of the scene, because I was a musician. I mean, I knew the scene, the jam night scene and everything. And so I was able to get back into it. So I came up with an idea of the show that here I am, this rube, going back out into what I used to love and used to be do, and see if that's still there.
Yeah.
And sure enough,
the jam night is still open. Yeah.
And everything. So I actually met Jack Whittle, and James Guetta, who are top beautiful musicians and singer-songwriters. Again, people put on your list that you should definitely check out. Jack Whittle and
James Guetta. We can send you the names later.
Yeah, we'll send you names.
Yes, that would be very helpful. My short term needs some improvement.
And so basically, I started this idea and I got this filming idea and whatever, but I was craving more.
Yeah.
Now, so I was like, I looked up art galleries because I'm an artist. So I looked at art galleries and I got in touch with Dave Mueller, and it was kind of a synchronicity on part one.
Yeah.
That he needed somebody for an art show, that somebody dropped out. I just happened to walk in and go, I'm looking for an art show. He's like, dude, you got it. I was like, sweet.
Yes, okay, great. That's awesome. The start of the
beginning, he's like, come to our jam night and, meet everybody and plug your art show. So I went there, hung up on my art and everything. And I show up at the jam night. And this jam night, it's an acoustic jam night. Yeah. And it's very eclectic. It's amazing core of people there, just absolutely supportive. Like you can go there and literally work on anything and nobody's going to boo you. Everybody claps for you.
Humble, yeah.
It's a beautiful place. And then Dave is like kind of the glue that puts it all together for all of
us. Or that weird uncle that we all love, but who still wears like tall diabetic socks with cargo shorts. That's
awesome.
And a blazer.
So he's a character.
Yeah.
You really did not know my uncle. Anyways, so I go there and I'm sitting in the audience and I'm minding my own business, being a good American like I am, just seeking out the truths and the what's nots.
Soaking in the atmosphere.
And I'm sitting there and here comes this, around the corner comes this, you had your black leather coat on. Like she looked totally badass punk. Like she, like you knew as soon as she came on the corner, she was like, yeah, I am literally coming in here as a badass.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to fuck
Queen of the Damned walks right in.
But she came in and it's the only seat that was available that it was right next to me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, and she's looking around and she's, comes and she sits down.
Yeah.
Because it's the only seat. And so of course I'm like, I'm friendly, again, a good American, in the pursuit of the whatnots and the dreams. And so I'm like, hey, how you doing? And so and I was like, well, why are you here? And she's like, well, I'm a poet. I'm like, oh, cool. I like poetry. I'm here for that too. So we kind of started talking.
Yeah.
So my art that was up on the walls, I told her I was here, plugging my art, but it's all digital.
Yeah.
Okay. So we had just made little small talk at that point, little small talk. And I noticed that she had a bundle of colored pencils in her hand. Okay.
Specific. And okay.
Okay. Now I'm a digital artist. So I was like, and this is exactly what I said.
You're sitting next to this woman. You're like, okay, this one's different. What's going on here?
So I go, yeah, I used to use colored pencils and charcoal and stuff like that, but I got tired of paying for that and having to charge my customers more money because I had to place things. So that's why I went digital. So I was just trying to explain why I went digital.
Oh, I can't wait to see
this one went, you will not take away my colored pencils.
I did not say it like that.
You totally did. And she caught it. And this one I found out she has a shank in her boot.
Oh my God.
You got a shank in your boot. I'm just saying.
There's a shank in my boot.
I tell you right now, you got to watch this when you ever meet her in person. You make sure you check your wallet after her because $3 will be missing. This one,
she got a shank in her boot, or she got a snake in her boot.
She got both.
I knew it. I seen it. All right.
When she was born, she robbed the doctor for $5. He
loves to say that,
and then punched the nurse.
He loves to say that.
I'm just saying.
He also likes to say that I stole a cigarette from the doctor.
Well, you didn't even get born. You just climbed out. You're like, I'm sick of this shit.
Right? Seriously. So, but
Okay, so I heard about Paul Henry's from one of my daughter's friends.
Okay.
I wanted to go back into performing poetry because it had been such a long time.
Yeah.
And so he had told me about it. And I went there, and like Nigel said, there was one seat available, and that's where I sat. And
I stand for truth.
It was a broken seat. It was literally like broken, and I had to be careful because like I thought I was gonna fall through it.
You might get stabbed by accident.
I did say something about the colored pencils, but I wasn't all like, ah!
Oh yeah, you totally were.
I wasn't gonna shank him with my colored pencils and damage them. No.
I have the scars.
He's lying.
Right here, look at that, right there. Right in my pectorals, right
He's
there.
like, let me show you my appendectomy scar or whatever, so that I can pretend that she shanked me.
He bends over. I didn't have a butthole before.
Right?
She stabbed me right in the pterodactyls.
So now I go to Paul Henry's on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And
without me?
No, he goes there too. We just meet there because like we don't live.
I am literally here. I'm literally the appendage now in this, which is so funny. Everybody loves MK. They just looked at me like, whatever.
I'm lovable. I can't help it.
Yeah, you are. I can't help it. There's a lovable meter somewhere that you would top it out. It would be literally like a temperature, like the mercury splurting out.
Everyone get mercury poisoning.
With all that being said, we started talking, and it took a long time for us to kind of talk some more and stuff like that. But it turns out we actually share the same birthday.
Literally. But not the same year, but
not the same year.
Day.
That's still crazy.
Right?
Oh, but the crazy part is that it's 9/9.
Wait. 9/9?
September 9/9.
That's my brother's birthday.
Seriously?
He was born on 9/9/99.
Wow. I'm still doing this.
You know what I did on 9/9/99? Which
so you guys are Virgos.
22. I turned 22. That was my golden birthday. I got to go fucking see Tool.
Wow, why you gotta cuss?
I got to go see Tool.
God damn it. Stop the cussing. I'm sick of this shit.
Right?
On my birthday,
on
9/9/1999, the very day that your brother was born.
Oh my God.
I got to go see Tool.
Maynard is God.
Because I turned 22 and I was like,
dude, Southside.
Oh
it was almost like a little bit of a Brooklyn accent to you there, MK. You're like, I was like 22.
Right? I'm telling you, you gotta watch
money. Stab you in the face.
You got a 6-shooter on her.
Okay. So you guys met it.
Give me your lunch money and meet me in the front room.
Freaking meatball.
So, but
don't make me throw you in the garage.
I did like a bare bones season of the Night of the Living. It wasn't called that. I don't even remember what it was called.
It's Jam Night.
It's Jam Night. That's what I called the show.
I was just thinking about that too.
It's Jam Night. So, but at the end, so I was having her kind of cameo, like opening the door, like I would talk to her because the show was kind of that comedy, but it was also me like promoting, bands and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's how it
that's
started.
really cool of you.
I was like, you know what? because again, I have to deal with all this.
As you should. You be grateful.
And so I was like, let's put her in the show, and MK was born, and from then on, we just killed it. I mean, we've done a lot of great shows, and I think we've done a lot of good. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything on that. I mean, but I'm a little bit cocky about it.
You should.
But
you want to know the best part, though?
I want to know.
I got to learn how to actually be a girl, which was nice.
Oh, okay.
So now I have the makeup skills.
Okay.
And I got to do stylizing from the thrift store.
Yeah.
Thrift store couture.
Hey, don't sleep on the thrift stores, man. Goodwill.
Oh, hell no.
Everything I wear is literally thrift store. Everything.
My favorite
my
was
underwear, which is really weird.
Like if you watch the show, you get to see I wear some really dope stuff. I still do. Like I've got some. I got a really cool closet. My closet's full of really cool stuff.
Yeah, I gotta say she's quite the
I only wear things that make me happy.
Yeah,
you're a fashionista.
Yeah, you got to wear things that activate your dopamine, that feels like it's expressing you as a person to some extent, right?
Authenticity is the highest vibration that there is.
Yes.
So imagine living authentically out of love. How powerful that would be.
That's the money right there, man. So
and what's so funny is I literally just wear the same thing over and over.
Yeah, he wears it like the same outfit.
But again, it shines on her.
It's your personality that you express with. You don't do it with your clothes.
So, and my makeup, and my words, and my art.
But yeah, that's kind of us in a very large nutshell.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's even a walnut.
Yeah, maybe even pistachio. What's bigger, pistachio or a walnut?
A walnut.
So we'd have to talk about volume.
I don't know. Yes. So the biggest difference though is that he's a photographer, primarily a photographer.
Yep.
Holiday snaps, say no more.
The videography and digital art, but he also did a lot of the other stuff before I ever met him.
I won't take your color pencils.
Cool.
One of these days, I'm literally just gonna go off on him. Like,
I'm waiting for that day too.
I don't want to though, because
he's like, "Here are your colored pencils, you bastard."
It's like, nah.
You said I had a shake. Well, here it is. Wee.
But like,
next thing you know, she's wearing my face on her face and just like, I'm sorry, that escalated.
I've always been a writer and an artist.
Yeah.
I did like a lot of comic book art and stuff. But then after I got divorced, I went into painting.
Okay.
And then I went into spray paint and stencils. And they're awesome.
Spray paint art is pretty cool, man. I've watched a lot of those people who do like how-tos on YouTube, how to make like space and planets with
I love
spray paint. It blows my mind because it looks complex as hell, and it ends up being like sort of like just the way they do it. It ends up being super simple.
Literally the steps in which you do it.
Yeah.
You have to go from the background to the foreground.
Yeah.
And there's this. I have these I have these like little round things that are like they're like coasters or like things to help you open stuff, and they're like waffle print. They're like foamy. You can get it at like the dollar store.
That's
and
awesome.
They're like a 5-pack, right? And they're just like these shitty little coaster things. And I would put them down and systematically move them around and spray different colors and make like a disco ball.
Yeah, that's gangster. That's cool. That's cool as hell.
Yeah, disco ball plant.
What about like instruments? You guys play any instruments?
So she plays the vocals.
Okay, heard.
Most of the stuff. I sing some. But I play guitar. I've been playing guitar for 40 years because I'm old. I'm 52. So I've been I think about 40 years.
Okay.
And cool. I still suck at it. I don't know how to read music, but I'm original. If you hear our stuff, it doesn't sound like it. You know how like Radiohead is like very different?
Very different.
Like like how Tool is very different from like your regular
their own lane.
Music.
Yeah.
Like we've gone out of our way. Like me, seriously, I've gone out of my way to really make us a very unique sounding. I almost want to say like almost like somewhat a Rhythmics, the good years on the Rhythmics.
Yeah, original content.
And it crossed into the Rhythmics and Tool and Pink Floyd.
I wouldn't even know how to describe my singing voice though.
Very Nick Cave-ish.
Looks like
That's a
it's
count.
gonna. Oh, it does give us a fucking time limit. Hold on. We have 9 minutes and 55 seconds. That's some bullshit. But we could jump back on and do it again. So no big
All
deal.
right. Is everything going good?
Yeah. Just Zoom is doing that capitalism shit where it limits how much you can record and then you have to leave. Otherwise, you get unlimited time if you pay for the premium. Every app does that now, subscription shit.
Yeah.
It's nuts. But yeah, continue. We still got 9.5 minutes till we just have to restart.
9.5 minutes.
So I mean, so like,
do you play? Are you more acoustic or electric or what?
Both.
Oh, I'm electric. I play acoustic, and I love playing my acoustic, but electric because I have my effects.
Yeah.
Like I'm Sid Barrett and David Gilmour are my two favorite guitarists. So
yeah.
Like I throw enough of Gilmour into my style, but I love Sid's experimental, and the timings and all the crazy stuff that he did as a guitarist.
Yeah.
And so I've always been a big fan of that. So I play weird.
Okay.
I call it controlled noise.
Well,
That's literally what I call it.
People need weird today, man, because a lot of people are really sick and tired of just normal shit, like normal club music and just radio stuff. Like people are looking for new and original and different, especially record companies, which I would probably rarely ever even get myself in. But it's good to have something original. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
saying,
we don't want to do.
All we have is originals, actually.
Yeah, we're in the process of shooting music video and it's kind of a short film for we're going to put all the songs we've got.
Yeah,
we're going to basically do our version of Pink Floyd The Wall. And literally,
okay, cool. Big Floyd fan myself.
Movie, and it's been a whole thing. So we've been like kind of hush on it.
Yeah.
Just because we're just we're trying to keep it just hush just because
I won't tell anyone except for 459 people.
Right.
Yeah.
But we have, as the Sunflower Conundrum, we have a solid
12 songs.
Well, I mean, like that that are performable at this time.
Yeah.
Is like 6 or 7 songs that are performable right now.
And we've been able to interchange them stuff. So
and then we have, since it's a total of 13, 6 or 7 that we're continuously still working on.
Yeah.
But the concept has been laid down. The whole foundation's laid down.
Yeah.
We just have to like streamline it.
Yeah. Our shortest song is like 3.5 hours.
But I mean, like, you get some weird stuff. Like one of my favorites is called Plastic Bag.
Boom.
Yeah.
And it's like about having like relating to the plastic bag that's
Katy
floating
Perry?
in the wind. What?
Do you ever feel like a plastic bag?
Yeah. Yeah, just how it floats in the wind, just up and down, not having any control over anything.
I love it.
Yeah, another one is like alien feet.
Oh, yeah.
Like, not alien feet.
I see why you're in comedy night.
What happened?
Fucking asshole.
Wow. Why you gotta cuss me out in front of the persons like that?
He's all like, oh, plastic bag floating in the wind. Yeah, okay, thank you.
You know I ain't normal and I'm sensitive.
Have you guys gotten anything recorded yet, or are you just mostly performance, thinking about eventually recording?
Yeah, we're gonna be recording. Unfortunately, my studio that I've had since like 1990 finally ended up breaking.
Yeah.
So we're kind of we got our. It's a shame.
It's complicated right now.
Yeah. I got you.
Not in a bad way, but it's just
like,
I forgot to get
the one guy, like one of my friends like really wanted to help us out, but like he can't because of his situation, and that kind of bumped him out. But like we don't have anybody that could help us on a low budget.
Yeah. I feel that 1000%. I would not even have a webcam right now if it wasn't. I've gotten my Facebook grown to the extent to where I can actually monetize it. So I actually use Facebook. Yeah, I actually have to fill out tax forms for Facebook this year, which is weird.
Yeah, seriously.
That does sound weird.
I mean, I feel you. I wouldn't have this laptop if I hadn't had a gun and a mask.
Exactly. You got to do what you got to do. Man's got to do what a man's got to do. So like on apps and stuff, if people, do you do bookings or do you kind of just stay local?
Well, we're staying local for now, but we do plan on doing bookings.
We're so Northwest Indiana is
kind of like a desert when it comes to entertainment industry.
Yeah, there's amazing talent.
You are specific people.
Yeah, there's some amazing talent here in Northwest Indiana. Like I said, we'll turn you on to the right talent for that.
Ooh, we should talk about fresh hops in that.
Oh yeah, fresh hops. Yeah, the fresh hops again. Yeah, fresh hops would be. Those guys are nuts.
I will.
Was that a band?
Yeah. I've interviewed the fresh hops like 4 times now, and it always goes off the rail.
Yeah.
Like it's at one point they're holding a dude up and carrying him around. Another point, like Stefan's playing his face like it was some type of weird little instrument.
So there's a lot of creative, fun, sporadic energy in there. Okay.
Oh, they're just crazy kids. That's even though they're all older. They're just crazy kids.
You got 2 electric guitars, a bassist, a 6-string bass, 7-string bass, an electric fiddle. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's amazing. Quite amazing. Like I said, we'll send you a list of some people that we'll spread the word on that.
Yeah, I'll reach out. That'd be nice. We need to get some fresh faces on here.
How much time we got?
We have approximately 4 minutes. You know what? We might as well just stop it and then just jump back in.
Okay, so when we come back, do you have questions for us or like specific questions?
Yeah, sure. I got a couple. Actually, let me write down a couple more as well. You want to take like a 5-minute breather and we can just jump back into it?
Yeah, just send me text MK and when you send the link and I'll jump on. We'll go from there.
Okay, yeah, I'll be back. Give me about 5-10 minutes max.
Good.
Alrighty.
Okay, bye. We are recording. I just realized that I could turn on captions so people that are deaf can watch our stuff too.
How'd they hear about us?
Why did
you want to laugh?
Why did that just register so late?
I watched it register.
Right?
I watched it. I saw the moment.
Well, I think I was in the middle of reading it, so I saw it before I heard it, and then my brain goes,
I saw it. Like the little rotation thing was going.
Question mark?
At first I thought it was the lag, and then I realized it was not.
Oh, I could really fuck with y'all. I could be like, yeah, so it took me a sec.
So
You're good at that. You're good at that.
Right? Seriously.
You're good at that.
Watch that be for real this time.
Right? He's gonna start doing it just randomly to fuck with us.
We'd be here 3 days later.
Crashes on the spot.
That's hilarious.
That's right. Took me a second. I had to make me some mushroom coffee, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh wow. Well, I understand that. Talking to us, that does warrant some sort of mind bending.
Oh shit, Nigel hatting right now? Hold on. Let me get my bald headed hat. Hold on. Let me get up to par now. Hold up. Where's Daddy's hat?
Dude, where'd you get that Joker poster behind you? I want one.
That's a solid question. I was probably hammered when I got it like 7 months ago.
Well, when you get hammered again, can you get one for me?
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Absolutely.
Look, this is the kind of guy I like right here. He likes Joker. He likes the cool stuff like that.
Oh, dude, I'm a huge nerd.
And he's got a hat too.
I got 2 hats because I'm trying to make merch for my people. But there's cat hair all over it.
So do you have like a name for your fans, followers? Like Deadheads or Parrot Heads?
I'm trying to come up with them, but the main, so it's Into the Chasm, and the main word is chasm. So I'm like, my little chasms. My orchasms.
That's creepy.
My orchasms. I have no idea. I've actually thought of that, and I've been trying to figure out a good word for it, but I have not.
The chasm knots.
We've been going with.
Oh, that's a good one.
Chasm knots, yeah.
Let me get my.
No, you could say your name
Freddy
and
Krueger
the chasm knots, like Jason and the Argonauts.
You said what?
So like Jason and the Argonauts, you could say your name and the chasm knots.
Lucian and the chasm knots.
Ooh, that could be a band name. That could be a band name.
That could be a band name.
It could be a band name.
It's got a good
Lucian and the one of those 1995 ska bands.
If you ever make a band and have that name, you have to give us royalty on the fact that
you got it. I mean, we have it like in scripture right here, right now.
I was in a tribute band.
You like my bling bling? Look at this. You like the bling bling? Look at
I
that.
do.
Look at that.
Yeah, I just sat around one day and I was just putting bling bling all over this because I'm gonna make this like a Into the Chasm merch and sell it dirt cheap just because it's cool.
Nice.
You know, without the cat hair.
Oh my.
Or maybe with the cat hair. You know, some seasoning, some flavor.
Seriously.
What's your cat's name?
I got two. I got Juliet and Floki. Juliet's too sweet as hell, so she had to have a sweet name. And then Floki, I had to name him Floki because he's fucking psychotic.
Whoa.
My daughter-in-law has a cat named Floki.
What? That's
Seriously.
crazy. Do you know where she got the name from? Was it from Vikings?
I have no idea.
Vikings is one of my favorite shows, and my favorite character is Floki because he's insane.
Don't you got a sister named Floki?
3.
You got 3 sisters?
I probably have more than that. Dad?
Oh, wow.
How many do I have? You tell me. You know, when Daddy was a little younger, he was tossing that salami. You know what I'm saying? So he's making he was making franchises all over the globe.
I threw my dick on the table every night. Got that aggressive cock. Just
Dad, I love you. I'm gonna. Have you guys ever messed with that 23andMe shit?
What is
No.
What is that?
It's like another version of Ancestry.com, basically.
I'm actually scared to know what they say, and I'm actually skeptical about their accuracy because how they acquired the DNA in the first place is probably from like dead people from various parts of the world and people who donated while they were alive and all these various things. But like,
I can definitely understand the concern, but I actually used it. And it syncs me up with a bunch of people I already knew I was related to. It's kind of like a social media for your DNA, and I'm sure they use it in debaucherous, malicious ways. So that's sketchy.
Yeah, there's an ongoing thing right now about a data breach from 23andMe and Ancestry.com.
Yeah.
Dang. I don't like that at all.
I did the test. I found out I was on a long line of birds that were, on the Mayflower, and they landed their new car, the Plymouth, on that rock.
Wow.
And then they joined the Native Americans and stuff. And then it really went downhill.
Have you are you guys into past life shit at all? Do you ever think about past life stuff?
I can't remember yesterday.
Actually, I do think of it a lot. But see, I've been listening to this guy named Bashar lately. Like it's actually
my God, no
Daryl Anka. And
yeah,
so
Daryl Anka. He's my favorite.
Daryl Anka, Bashar. And his concept of time being stacked, which I already agree with,
dimension,
and like the television channel, how everything is like, and you just tune into whatever it is. And I was like I got it so fast. I was like, oh my God.
He made sense out of such a complex topic. He's saying that there's infinite realities happening right now. We're all shifting simultaneously.
Yeah.
That's crazy that you watch Bashar. That dude literally changed my life.
I love him, actually.
When I was like 22 years old, I was going through the ringer, living in basements, couches, garages, all sorts of fucked up shit. And I just randomly discovered him, and he like changed the fabric of my entire reality because of the way he explained things like spirituality, past lives and stuff. And I'm just like,
what's this guy's name?
At first I was like,
Daryl Anka, who channels Bashar. Who
is that? Paul Anka's brother?
I don't know.
Oh.
But I just recently, Daryl Anka. I just recently discovered him, probably less than a month ago.
Dude, on Facebook, they have a couple Facebook groups dedicated to Bashar. If you really want to keep looking into his stuff, they've got a ton of Bashar groups.
Actually, I don't know about I'm not really a Facebook group kind of person.
I feel you.
No, I'm
just an internet mole myself, so I'm just plugged in the matrix.
Whoa. That's like deep state stuff, right?
I like to go outside and just be outside.
I feel you.
I plug into the dirt.
1000%. I'm a reptile. I belong outdoors in the summer, just motorboating the sunlight. Like I'm supposed to be outside. But yeah, Bashar is freaking cool, man. That's cool. Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because like it doesn't matter if you believe in who he says he is. What he says is actually
it resonates.
He's an extraterrestrial. Daryl Anka actually channels an extraterrestrial named Bashar. And then he speaks with the people, and like the things he talks about is actually complex things
Okay.
broken down into a very simple way of putting them.
Yeah.
Just to help the minds of human beings to move forward into a better consciousness of life.
Yeah, he takes like the whole pie and breaks it down into bite-sized pieces, basically.
Yeah.
And this guy's an ET, you're saying?
Well, I think his story is, he says that, I think his story is that he comes from, he's basically saying he's channeling from the perspective of future, allegedly they're like future us. They call themselves the Ssani, and that he's basically having a transmission through time and space to basically past versions of themselves, which is us now, here and now. Which, like you said, you know, you could believe that or not, but what he does, whenever I first started listening to him, I thought I was highly skeptical because I was like, this guy's full of shit. But the more I watched, the more I was like, this guy is so informative and has such intricate details that even go link up with science and quantum mechanics and quantum theory, to where I'm like, how could this guy be making all this shit up if it all checks out? And it's like he's responding to people in real time with elaborate explanations for extremely complex subjects. So you watch it and you're like, it's almost like a computer's talking, but it's a bald dude in a Hawaiian shirt.
And then he relieves the tension repeatedly by making you laugh.
Yeah.
So any tension that you were feeling from having all of this information just being bombarded at you, all that tension is gone because he consistently makes you laugh while confronting yourself. For sure. It's like really, it's like intense, dude.
Is he on the YouTubes and the whatnot?
Yes, I can actually send you.
He's even on the TikToks.
Yes, he's on the TikToks. He's on the Facebooks. He's on the Instagrams.
He's on the Insta.
And you know what? Not even Daryl Anka. It's like everybody who follows what he says because it's like that profound.
Does he have like a nickname for his followers?
No.
The ankles?
Oh no, because that would start to sound a little culty for him.
People are following Bashar.
Oh, the Bashards. Is that B?
Oh gosh, don't even the Bashards. You hear this?
Well, how do you spell this?
That's pretty good.
It's Bashar, B-A-S-H-A-R.
Well, then Bashar would argue you wouldn't want to do that because that's just reflections of yourself, and that would sound more ego.
It's what I was thinking. Yeah, it's a reflection of your own ego.
Bashard is
what you just said. Because
I was trying to get clarification on the spelling of his name. I've become a what am I? What happened here? Am I a bad person?
Are you? You're talking purple.
To be a bad person.
You're talking purple.
What happened?
You're not a bad person.
I love your shirt, by the way, dude. That's baller.
No, it's like what Lucian is saying is
I wore this to my dad's funeral.
What Lucian is saying is that even if so he wouldn't be doing like all of these different things on social media per se as Bashar, because that would be egotistical. Bashar has no interest in having social media.
Then why is he on social media?
Because human beings find him so important that we want to share what it is that he's saying.
Yeah, it's like putting a novel out there. You're like, there's knowledge, and then we still just live in a society that thinks it needs money. So
kind of like an extraterrestrial Sally Jesse Raphael, which by the way was chock full of wisdom from my get-go. I'm just saying.
There's a lady I like to listen to on TikTok named Carrie K. She talks a lot about like the metaphysical and things like that, and she makes a lot of sense.
What, she have an alien name too?
No, but it's Kerry.
Oh, is she a channeler, or does she just talk about like consciousness?
She's not. I don't believe she's a channeler, but she does talk about, and she has a lot of information.
Yeah. You, if you stumble on TikTok, there's this lady named Missy McStein, and she, you heard of a spirit box before?
Yeah, I have.
Whenever I have $100 just sitting around and I'm not paying bills, which will be never, I'm gonna get one of these spirit boxes because she's using this spirit box, and when you start listening to these spirit boxes, it's throwing out random sounds from like movie clips, song clips, and stuff. But it's answering questions. And at first you're gonna be like, this is bullshit. But like Bashar, it's answering questions in such intricate detail. It kind of blows your fucking mind because you're like, how could this just be pre-programmed if it's this extensive? I mean, with AI nowadays you could, but these spirit boxes have been around for a hot minute. But definitely recommend checking out spirit boxes and this Missy McStein's channel on TikTok. She talks about we're about to like reach some next next level
Yes,
of society.
that is what I keep hearing about. The
The
ascension, the
yeah,
choosing,
the Great Divide, and
the fifth
like a golden
dimensional
age.
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, allegedly there's this thing called the event that's going to happen, and nobody
Yeah,
necessarily
it's
knows.
basically, from what I understand, and I'm just, from what I understand,
Yeah,
what's coming up is making the choices,
yeah,
because the amount of people that are choosing to raise their consciousness is elevating the consciousness of the earth, which is
yeah,
also elevating at the same time. So it's basically like, if the higher dimension of love is here and the lower here, we have these two earths that are splitting apart.
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
depending on what you choose on your path, like if you're choosing to be kind and act out of love, you would be walking onto the path of what would be called the new earth, or
yeah. Well,
yeah,
it'd be like
or you could stay
like you
here
were
in this
talking about.
hellhole.
You're choosing a new frequency, so you're in this new reality where that is starting to
Yes.
navigate and gravitate toward you more.
And the weird thing is instead of a sideways shift, it
Yeah,
would be an upshift.
yeah. Well, it's a frequency.
Yeah.
It's a vibratory thing.
Yeah.
Because
You
they
are
say
so
like, yeah,
lost.
No, seriously. Hey, I really want to know. Send me some links from Ricochet. That's pretty cool, man.
there is
what you're
a
saying.
Well,
problem
he's
with.
asked me about fifth dimension stuff before. This is like a
But I was talking
crash
about the
course.
music group, the Fifth
Wait.
Dimension, not the Fifth
Oh,
Dimension.
you would. That's old school. That is old school. Okay. My first album I ever made, I called it The Fifth Dimension because I was fascinated with it. Have you guys ever had out of body experiences, whether
Yes.
on hallucinogens or just sober?
Yes.
Have you
Dude,
have you experienced other dimensions? Have you like traveled
Yes.
anywhere?
Yes.
So that's the biggest reason that I believe in that stuff, because I was just like, I've seen my body from outside my body,
Dude, I'm not even here right now.
See, the mind
technically
is
we're not.
no. Actually, if you
Oh,
think
boy.
about it, the majority of your body is not even here. It's
Is that what Bashard
the
says?
higher self, and this is like a 20% avatar
Well,
reality.
if everything's made of atoms that are 99.99999% empty space, technically reality itself is almost like a Sims character in a video game.
Yeah,
In
we're
that,
overlapping wavelengths to form a three-dimensional figure.
You lost me
yeah,
after the
they say
nine.
it's more about electromagnetism, and then whenever you experience yourself touching and experiencing solidity, it's actually the atoms in your body repelling each other, and you're not actually
Yeah.
touching yourself. It's the atoms pushing each other away, which is
Wow.
it fucks my mind up, because I actually did a ramble on my Facebook a couple days ago about like what would a Sims character imagine the video game programmer to be like. They couldn't fathom it, right? They couldn't fathom another dimension. They're living this reality behind pixels.
Yeah.
They can't walk through the doors in this reality because there's a program. And the concept is we could be doing that right now. We could literally be living a reality where this is coding and program. And this is definitely juju off the cuff woo stuff, but I fully believe in this stuff because there's a lot of YouTube channels that are about NDEs, near-death experiences, and so many of these people have almost the exact same experience where they talk about leaving their body and going to this like giant warm pool of light and love, and they recall talking to deceased loved ones that say they've never been gone. And if you watch a lot of these videos, you start to kind of paint this profile in your mind of this may just be temporary and we're just in a lower state of vibration.
See, but the thing is, though,
But
and
it is just a blip.
But unfortunately, I'm not actually like lying on this. I've been dead like 8 times.
Yeah.
And like, seriously, I've never experienced, a light
Were you brain dead?
Oh, I don't know. I wasn't.
My dad said he did when he died and came back.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, because I may have had a problem.
Yeah.
At times with the substances.
Everybody's had their own,
Well, no, I mean, I was that guy that was like half in the toilet, in the public toilet, throwing toilet water on my face. That was that guy. That was me.
What?
Ooh.
Yeah, that was me. That's an honest true story. But I don't ever remember. But then again, I could have been just that, out of it, that I wouldn't have remembered it anyways. But
yeah.
I just wish I had that experience. I mean,
well,
if
you
I'm gonna
still
be dead,
can. It's not like, I've had out of body experiences sober too, but you have to do a really, really deep state of meditation. And sometimes if you're not that into
or
it,
hit your head really hard.
you
No,
said,
it's true. But you see, once your mind is trained, it's like an elevator. You already have the location of where you're
yep,
going, and you simply go. And the more you visualize it, the more you have the imagination behind it, the easier it is to go any place you want to go,
yeah,
whether it's a parallel dimension or a higher dimension.
Back in the fifth.
You just can't. You got to come back here because your body's here.
yeah,
This is literally a temporary place. Now,
yeah,
I have also almost died like maybe 4 times in my life.
yeah,
And when I was very young, I had a couple very awful experiences and then very near death experience that
yeah,
followed. And I came out of it with more of a sense of purpose. Like I know there's something that is going to happen that I need to freaking do here. And it's like
yeah,
right now, so it's like I know something's going on. I feel something's going on. I see it,
yeah.
I just can't always put my finger on it.
What's like if the human if you've got a soul and it's in this human meat suit, say the soul is here and it's everywhere, but this body cannot fathom that much um reality if you think about it. Like people who take high doses of mushrooms or LSD, after they get out of it, they talk about being exhausted for 2 days. It's because they've
Yeah.
so many mental calories. If we could really perceive higher levels of consciousness, we don't have the body's the biological mechanics to fathom that yet. That would have to be
No, we're too
incorporated.
reactive. Carbon is too reactive.
Uh,
And then like the more you use it, the faster it goes into half-life and death.
yeah,
So like you got to be really careful sometimes because like as fun as those experiences are, if we overdo it with the mental with all of that,
yeah.
I fear that we like project ourselves closer to like not having the longevity.
Well, yeah, because then you kind of begin wasting your own physical kind of reality if whatever reason this is that we are here. Like if you put yourself up there too much, you don't have one foot down here anymore. You're just all out
Especially if it's
there.
purposeless.
Yeah,
There's
yeah. Well, and that's the reason people say, well, why is there physical reality if we're just perfect souls of good frequency? And they're like, well, to experience what it would be like to be in physical reality based with limitation. Um, we don't really, there's no science behind that. That may never be proven. And because science is kind of this dimension right now.
No calculator for you on that one.
But I like science.
Oh,
I
she
love
does.
science. I have a
I
theory.
have a catchphrase.
Yeah, she's got.
Oh,
You
what
got
it
a big
is.
don't
Well,
you?
I have a couple of degrees in like associate's degrees in science, but I like to go science.
The only degree I have is powder.
Science.
Science. That reminds me of Nacho Libre. Do you ever watch that Nacho Libre?
Nacho. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the same thing, is it?
Yeah, yeah. Jack Black.
Okay, for a second I thought it was the cartoon.
You're
with the
always making fun of me because I believe in science. I don't know. I'm just always quoting that ridiculous movie. Science.
Nacho.
Dude, I think science, religion, and spirituality will all merge one day because one day I think science is going to stumble upon something that's religious or biblical, and they're going to have some type of way to prove this stuff because we're using AI right now kind of to try to pierce the veil of the next dimension. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a laboratory right now shooting, like, have you ever watched Stranger Things, the
Yep.
show? So the idea of blasting this super high beam of energy against a wall to open a portal, we're actually doing that right now.
I know. They've been doing it for years.
Yeah.
And taking pictures of the things coming out of it.
Wait, what? What?
What?
I need to see these damn
No.
pictures. I want to meet these demons, shake their
Yeah.
hand.
You never done that?
No.
They literally take pictures of the as they're doing the super collider and high, super fast and whatever. Blah,
Oh,
blah,
like
blah.
CERN?
Pictures of it, and there's like faces and the energies.
Is Bashard involved with this?
No, not at all.
All right. How
Dude,
about
there's
Ricochet?
this documentary on Amazon where these I believe it was somewhere in London where these 5 people would meet once a month, and it was 5 people who were really deep into advanced meditation, and they would meet in this basement, and they would all sit around a table, and all 5 of them would put their hands on the table, and they would meditate / go into this like monk trance, and then things would manifest out of thin air. And they even brought people in, like psychologists, scientists, to witness this, to be like, prove me, motherfucker, tell me this ain't real. And they had, I mean, coins, just 1930s coins pop up out of nowhere. Pictures, physical pictures from like the 1930s would just manifest out of nowhere. And then it would be, one of them was a picture of an old man, and then simultaneously a voice started coming through the radio behind them. And somehow, I believe the story was, they found who was related to this old man and somehow recorded the voice in the radio, and it ended up being the old man in the picture, and the people that they got a hold of ended up being related to this guy and could confirm this is a real picture, and that sounds like my grandpa, and like crazy shit. I'm gonna have to find that. It's on Amazon. I can't remember. I think it has to do with skull or something, but because they had a certain name for it. But the metaphysical is a fascinating topic. We can't prove any of it yet, but I think AI is gonna prove it. I think AI is gonna sort of pierce the veil.
Quantum entanglement proves it.
You said what?
Quantum entanglement proves it.
Quantum entanglement is a fascinating thought, man.
I mean, okay, so hear me out.
Let me know when you're done.
My dead uncle told me he was dead.
But he would know.
After he was dead. Like, I literally got a message from my uncle in my head of like the picture of Alf, right? And that's because we always made fun of him because he always had that hairdo where it was like spirally.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so like, and so like we called him Alf, and he thought it was funny. And then he called me Chevy Monte Carlo and instead of Monty. And and then I heard him say that he was okay, and I was like freaking out. And I looked on my phone and I looked up the obituaries, and he had died a month previous, and nobody had told us. And I was like,
man, that's crazy shit.
Ow.
Well, quantum entanglement could explain some kind of way that like the soul exists. Like we could all be experiencing quantum entanglement simultaneously. And, you know, when you think about someone and they message you almost at the same time as you thinking about them, you know, is that coincidence or is that something else? I feel like quantum entanglement. You said what?
I'm going to go all quantum entanglement on this Easter cake from the fine lady of Little Debbie.
Okay, but hear me out.
That.
If energy is neither created nor destroyed, it's only transformed from one form into another.
Yeah. That means that everything that's ever existed is already here.
Right. We just can't see it. Like a child whose parents go out of the room and they don't see them, so automatically they believe they're not even there anymore.
Yeah.
It's the same for us, except we just can't see them with our physical eyes. We can still feel them. So there's a very big chance that when you think about people who have passed, it's because they are entangling with you at some level.
Yeah.
From whatever realm they're in, as opposed to where we are, because we only see in so many dimensions, and they're in like 12.
Yeah. That's
12
dimensions.
I think it's 12 is the theory, but
to say metaphysical.
I like 3D movies.
Oh, dude. Well, there's another theory that not only are there 12 dimensions and they could be infinite, but the thought is that we could have 12 strands of DNA. So you know about like DNA.
I have heard that.
The double helix, right? All of us right here more than likely have double strand helix, and then all the birds outside, the turtles, everything. There's been people who were born with 3 strands of DNA. Now, I mean, they had all these genetic abnormalities where a kid would be deathly sick, like he's done, and then the next day, back to full health, just like Wolverine shit, but also didn't end up. Yeah, he did pass eventually. But the thought is that we could have up to 12 strands of DNA, and it could be like a dimensional thing, and each strand could be activated based on a higher dimension or frequency. And we could have had more abilities in the past, but we can no longer activate them because it's like a program that's temporarily been like disabled because of whatever reason.
Yeah. Well, that actually kind of makes sense, because there are some people who would say that as you ascend like spiritually into another dimension from raising your vibration, your physical body changes.
Yeah.
So that would make sense what you're saying, if that's true.
Well, allegedly the reason that we aren't just these people building pyramids with our minds anymore and just, doing acoustic levitation just by a conscious concept is because allegedly at one point we did have more senses. And I mean, we have more than 5 senses right now. Technically, we have like 7 or 8. You have a sense of balance, of temperature. And then, but at one point, say we did have more senses, but then we go through these ancient cataclysms where maybe those senses were no longer necessary because, we had to focus on reproducing. So it became about the survival of the human race, not about, what other abilities they had, right? I mean, if one day we just have perfect food that we don't even have to smell anymore, we just make it in a laboratory and we get all the nutrients we need, why will we need a nose? That sense will be turned off, hypothetically. So there could have been a state of mankind where we were going through the ringer and we're like, all right, we got to turn these senses off and focus here and now and start banging and putting babies out to save the human race. But I can talk about that shit fucking forever because I'm fascinated by that stuff.
I should really pick a book up or something. I have no idea like any of this stuff. Like it's like
well, all this stuff is hypothetical.
We can't. In my head, I'm just trying to figure out what I'm having for lunch tomorrow. Like I am like so simple. Like,
I got a theory on food too in the metaphorical apple. I feel like at one point human beings didn't eat, right? Say in the beginning when the first human being was made, right? I have a theory that God is the sun and that you could I think human beings at one point had this natural way to kind of do their own human form of photosynthesis where we could just absorb energy from the sun. We probably didn't need to eat. And then something happened and maybe we ate for the first time because of, something blocked out the sun. I mean, nuclear or not nuclear, but like a meteor or an asteroid, would put up ash in the atmosphere and the sun's blocked off and you're getting disconnected from the sun. So now you have to find this other way to make material for energy. So we started eating. And then eventually all we knew to do was eat. And we lost our ability to kind of connect with God or the sun and absorb energy and minerals from that. The only reason I even believe in that is because I've done what's called sun eating, sun gazing. You go out in the sun in the morning or when the sun's going down, not in the middle of the day because you'll burn your freaking eyes out. But in the morning and the evening, the sun is just over the horizon. So you're not getting the full spectrum of the UV rays. And you basically just stare at the sun. And both times I've done it were, I was kind of exhausted. It was in the early morning. I was hungry the first time. And then I went out there and meditated under the sun. And I felt my whole body feel this experience of feeling like a battery that was overcharged. It felt like all the toxins left my body. And it felt like I was supercharged. And it felt like every mineral that I needed was sufficient just in 30 minutes. And I didn't need to eat that entire day. So and that experience made me kind of go back into this theory. I have a billion of them that at one point we probably didn't need to eat. And that's why we eat is because we've been disconnected from our natural source of energy. And that could explain why we're disconnected from higher senses because, if you think of the sun as an infinite source of energy, you could fathom higher dimensions because you're burning infinite calories, right? But we have to eat burgers and stuff, and that takes time to create energy. You couldn't fathom a higher dimension and activate these senses because you have to sit around and wait for the food and the digest. And even so, it's not in real time energy that's just beaming straight in you. You got to wait for it.
Heavy.
So what is sun like?
Very light.
You put ketchup on it? Like seriously, like I mean, we like. Does the sun have a taste?
Oh, you cut out, so I didn't hear you. So you mean it's like what is sun eating like?
Yeah,
it's metaphorical. It's like the concept that you just absorb nutrients straight from the sun, and it's filling your food meter or bar because you're no longer hungry, because you're getting all the nutrients you need from the sun. So it's called sun eating. I mean, you could try
the sun. So you're not getting a combo meal with that, then you're not getting fries with the sun.
Oh, you get the combo, but you ain't eating it.
Well, I don't know. I think I got to vote on the eating part of it.
I like eating. I love food, but there's that concept that eventually one day we'll be able to go past beyond the farming of having to get corn and make burgers and and eventually we'll have a faster way to make food that is easier to digest and quicker energy. And eventually the theory is we could find a source of energy for us as human beings to get energy faster. And then eventually, I think that's my theory anyway, is that's the path of ascension, is one day we're going to be motorboating the sun like all day long. I think that's where we come from. And I feel like God is probably the sun, in my opinion.
That's what a lot of people think.
Wow.
Well, the ancient peoples used to worship it for some reason.
Yeah.
And they say it's because it gave them crops, but
it's the nucleus of our solar atom.
It's fucking beautiful. It's metaphysics. Bashar definitely got me. Bashar is actually the one that got me this deep into any of this stuff. Because the stuff he talks about, man, is just like, I had such a simple brain, and I started listening to Bashar, and I just started sponging, like absorbing. Bashar's dope.
Yeah.
So okay. All right, let's get on to another one, unless you got something else on the metaphysics you'd like to talk about. I got one. Okay, I got one. So we were talking about transcendence and like ascension and stuff, right? And there's this, I love the concept of spirituality and spiritualism, but it's starting to become more culty. So I feel like, so they talk about ascension and the divide between, the people who are more higher and then the people who are lower, right? And that almost sounds like the rapture, doesn't it? Like,
yes, it does.
It almost sounds like it's the same thing, but
it's literally the same exact storyline as the Book of Revelation and part of the book of Isaiah.
Exactly. And that's what's crazy, is because spiritual people are like, religion's bad. And then, religion's like, well, it's about religion and God. It's not, which is spiritual. And I'm not religious. I'm more spiritual, but I kind of see it's the same thing. It's not about the messenger. It's about the message. And that's, it's just strange to me, because people will cling to their beliefs that it's about God. No, it's about spirit. And there's going to be a rapture. No, there's going to be ascension. And it's, to me, it's the same. They're saying the same thing.
They are. And actually their perspective is wrong, because it's all about love.
Yeah.
It's not about God. It's not about spirit. It's literally about you and me.
Yeah.
And literally, that's it.
I agree with that, Cat Piss. That's what I'm talking about. And
it's that simple.
Well, and there's,
are you going to love your neighbor, and are you going to love yourself? And it doesn't have to, it could just simply be kindness, and it just, don't be an asshole.
Yeah, we are not in the best society right now for practicing that. I mean, it seems more, that's the thing, is I think that we're getting advertised all the negative things about people, but it's not true. It's like virtual reality, because I think more people are more kind and more loving than they ever have been.
I agree.
But there's a lot more jackasses in this world right now than
or they're just being highlighted.
Well, I think it's more like the jackasses are acting out right now, so they're garnering more attention.
Yeah,
because the good people are actually outnumbering them at this point.
But you know what, though? Stop throwing your damn temper tantrum. Get your head out of your ass and start contributing and not trying to destroy. That's all I'm saying. You jackass, and I don't care. I'm very verbal about this.
Yeah,
I'm very verbal about this. I'm about to get political. I seriously, I don't know if you're like
political. I'm more libertarian, somewhere in the middle, moderate.
I mean, I don't just consider myself a Democrat or a Republican.
Yeah.
I just want you to know the damn how to do the job.
Yeah.
And that's it. I just be, thing. And that orange son of a so-and-so, that rotten piece of, back in my day, I'm 52. So I'm from the older generation. So you guys have been talking about all this like spiritual stuff and all that stuff like that. Yeah. That makes no sense to me. I'm just sitting here just like,
I gotcha.
I have no clue. I feel it, and I wish I could, but I don't know how that
works. It doesn't resonate yet, because you haven't found that. You haven't gotten.
Yeah, but the whole aspect of not being an asshole and being kind and doing things.
But we're literally
you actually like resonate with that. So that's all that's important.
We are literally living in an age right now where being a jackass is cool.
Yeah.
That's what's being advertised, though. There is no ultimate story about that. That's just the media and social media.
And I understand that, and I totally understand that.
Yeah,
and I understand that the media pushes back and pushes their way, and
they push it
whichever way. I get that, And I understand that's the game that we all played collectively that we call entertainment.
Sure.
But behind that, there was a guy who had an original idea and it grew. And people really believe in this stuff. And it's dangerous stuff. I mean, when I was growing up in the 70s, I mean, it was a messed up time. But nobody ever went against America. 1976, the bicentennial, you know, I was there for that. Like it's so foreign to me to listen to these people.
Yeah.
To that rotten piece of crap. I don't even want to say his name because his name said so much every single day.
Yeah.
But to sit there and watch, I cried. I was watching January 6th when it happened. I cried. My daughter came out and is like, "What are you crying about?" And I'm like, look what's happening.
But that got you activated, didn't it?
But I've always been active. I've always been a political junkie. I'm from the mind of Hunter S. Thompson.
Oh, I love Hunter S. Thompson, man.
I'm Gonzo. I live the life of Hunter S. Thompson.
Gonzo journalism, yeah.
So I was, you know, his perspective and his, you know, thing, just because, I did a lot of stupid stuff. But
we all did.
Anyways, I can't get this. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, that dirty, rotten. So, okay. So seriously, I understand people are pissed. People are mad. People struggle every single day. I struggle every single day.
100.
But you know what? For the betterment of all of us, just for once, you know, is Biden old? Yes, he's old. But you know what? Yes, he is old, and we've filmed him. We've been in the same room. Guy's gracious. The guy's, you know, he no matter what you think, he is what it is. Okay, but we also have Kamala in the background, who, you know, again, but do we need a female president? Yes, we need.
Yeah, but it doesn't need to be identity politics. We need they have to be a person that has caliber, like emotional caliber.
But the point I'm trying to make is that this guy is going around and he's brainwashing people and people that are desperate, and we're all desperate to a point. And we all want to be loved. We all want to be part of something. We all want to be able to look over to somebody and go, "You get me." And I
do you hate Trump supporters or do you love them?
I absolutely despise them.
That's the problem.
But I also feel sorry for them.
Well, you pity them. Do you think that they probably feel the same about you?
Yeah, and they do. The thing is, though, I understand them.
Somewhere else.
But I understand them, and I don't hate them.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's good.
Okay, so it's like a personal, but I don't hate them. And I would never disparage anybody's beliefs or anything like that, just because I don't like it. But that's the thing.
Yeah,
it seems like every day it's my way or no way.
Yeah. Well, we have to find a middle grounds for. That's another reason that I was started the Into the Chasm podcast, because I really wanted to find a way that I'm not left or right. The last time I voted for a Democrat. I was a really big Andrew Yang fan. He seemed like he didn't have experience in government, but he seemed like he had great ideas and he was really smart. But Into the Chasm was the idea of like, I need to help find a way to at least unite people more, so the divide between left and right isn't so far away.
Oh, sure.
You know,
I mean, if there was a way to bring people together just on a human level, just on a common courtesy, human level, you know, excuse me, sorry, you know, seriously. I mean, people just go off on people for no reason.
Yeah, it's like that old school sense of respect for just a stranger is not as apparent as it used to be.
I mean, you can't even get your change counted back to you anymore. You go to these places
that's
like
a common sense issue that came from technology, though, which is a strange one for sure.
But still, though, when I was growing up, which I always seem to sound like the old fart in the room because I am.
It is what it is.
But you counted the change back to the person.
Yeah, I still
do. Now it's just a blob of change. Get out of my face.
Yep.
Get out of my ear.
Here's what the computer told me to give you. Here it is. How much is it? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You know, where's the personality anymore? Where's, you know, and I don't know. Technology is just a thing. You know, it's just too much now.
Yeah. Well, we're in a weird phase of history because technology, like human beings, even at the individual personal level, it takes time for us to come up with new concepts and embrace them. But technology has changed things so fast. What should have taken like 100 years for us to get up to par, and economically, societally, politically, whatever, globally, it's all happening in real time now. And it's like we're learning 200 years worth of concepts in a small amount of a small space. So that's kind of why it's a little chaotic right now, because so many, both sides politically, sexually, I mean, even just identity, it's taking all these people such advanced concepts that no one had any prior experience in. That's just it's all bottlenecking and getting forced through in like a laser beam
at the same time.
Yeah,
like 12 different new concepts at the same time, all at once right now.
It's crazy, but I think this is all transitory.
Yeah.
You said what?
One for each DNA.
Exactly. Yeah, basically.
He said 12. Did he say 12 DNA?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, there's the concept that there could be 12 strands, but I think it's all transitory because we're trying to find that new medium. Well, even gender roles. I just did a video about gender roles last night, and how I love the idea of men and women kind of changing roles and women being more empowered. But but I also came into that same idea that we haven't had that much time to actually go deep into that. So it's all been super fast. You know, we don't have the genetics of, you know, the ancient gatherers. You know, men were the gatherers and women were the nurturers. And now we're just suddenly switching roles, which is great, but it's going to be chaotic because, you know, even your brain that you were born with is going to be predetermined by who your grandpa or your grandma was, right? But all of this, I guess, full circle here is just saying it's all weird as hell right now, politically, everything. But I think we're gonna get through it, though. We're gonna get through it. You know what I mean? And we're gonna come back to some healthy middle grounds for everybody. Whether,
but again, but I'm waiting for that, though. I mean, this COVID thing. Remember? I mean, the whole COVID thing. We lived through the bubonic plague. We lived through all these different, like the mad cow disease. That shit was nuts. And COVID was just, it was another way of nature cleansing, and like the earth just going, hey, let's just get some of these people off of us.
Could be.
I don't
know if we want to go into COVID because there's a lot in COVID. There is a lot in that door to open.
Yeah, I mean, and it's and it's created this like you said, it's this weird time that is just been mind-boggling to what has transpired in just such a, like you said, it's such a short amount of time.
So much has happened.
I don't think we are so overloaded right now as a race.
I almost feel like the fact that we're all being chaotically overloaded, I almost feel like it's intentional, and that's my inner conspiracy theorist. But I feel like all this stuff is being crammed at us so fast, because if you're going through a hard time, that means you need to be around good times. And what was happening during that time was conspiracy. Don't go outside. Rush to a freaking Target to get all the toilet paper. And like, there was all this chaos that was kind of thrown at us. There wasn't a lot of people saying, hey, we're going to be good. We're going to get through this. It was kind of just all crazy. But I think that's kind of the thing that we all have to get back to is it's going to be okay, regardless of whatever. But go ahead.
But what's wrong with all of us just saying that to each other? Just one time. We should have a day.
Yeah.
That's set aside that it's like say hello to whoever's next to you day. Or just ask their name and wish them a happy.
That is my everyday, actually.
Yeah,
maybe
same.
not asking the name, but like
on a larger scale,
hugs and smiles.
Yeah, I your local cashier.
I gave out like 3 or 4 hugs today to people at like stores.
I almost punched a guy today. I almost had to punch a guy today, but
hey, you know what? He might have deserved it.
Oh yeah, he would have deserved it. Yeah.
In my head now.
After I heard the story, that dude would have deserved it.
There's a lot of people out there, that's another strange topic too, about people who haven't gotten their ass beaten. I hate to sound like that guy, but
there's a list.
And the worst part is right now, all the people that are feeling like the good people are surpassing them are acting out. So all those asshole people, since they haven't been in a fight for a while and got their ass beat, and because the good people are actually kind of getting ahead, now they're acting out. Now they're throwing a tantrum, seeing if the good guy will turn around and become the bad guy and punch him in the goddamn face.
That's an energy thing too. Though. That's primal, but I feel like I feel like we should have some kind of civil discourse where we're allowed to be like, hey, we have an issue, have like a license to be like, all right, I put my thumb in the app on my phone. Now I can punch you in the mouth and you can return it back if you want.
Like bring back the duel, but like not in a lethal kind of death way.
I'll give him the duel right now.
Okay.
Duel fists.
All right.
Science.
All right. So here's the old fart in the room perspective on that.
Sure.
I grew up in Gary. That's my catchphrase.
That's his catchphrase now.
What is it?
I grew up in Gary, Indiana.
Oh, okay. I thought you said Garrett.
Yeah, Gary. So
Gary grew up in a man.
It's a very rough area. So I grew up getting my ass beat every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I took it. I never went home and drew up plans to, do some bad stuff. I never went home.
Good. You swallowed it.
And as I got older and I would get into fights, because apparently I like to fight. Either way. So, but everybody's afraid to take an ass beating. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everybody's afraid to, don't mess up my face. Don't mess up my face.
Yeah.
I got to look pretty for TikToks. I got to look pretty for the YouTubes and stuff. I can't, and they're just so quick.
Are you kidding?
They're so quick to draw. Nobody fights anymore.
I don't want to get in a fight with somebody.
Okay, if you had the choice of getting
me like so hard, I will get hurt.
You would get hurt, but you would live.
As much as like I can throw it down, but the second they hit me, I am down because like I'm like 5 foot tall, little tiny thing. And then all the dudes in the room stand up and be like, "Bitch."
She said, "I will get hurt."
You would be alive.
That's damn.
That's the thing.
Deep, clean philosophy right there.
To fight another day. And no matter what the beef is, when I was ever in a fight, if I ever got into an actual fight with somebody for any type of reason, it was literally back in my day, you beat the crap out of each other for about 3 or 4 minutes, and then your friends would come in, bust it up, and then you shook hands, and you were best friends for the next summer.
Dude, I was gonna ask you that right after you. Yeah, that's a. I know that might just be guys.
That literally is the way I grew up. Yeah. Because when I grew up, bullying was not a thing. It was just fun.
Dude, some of the best friends I've ever had, we fought.
Group. It wasn't. Bullying was a thing. ADH was not a thing when I went to school. They just threw you in special ed and they just called you stupid. And that's the honest to God truth of that. That's the time I grew up in. And thankfully it's changed and these kids are getting the help they need.
Yeah.
And I don't understand a lot of some of the over medication on some of the kids, but let a kid be a kid.
Yeah, that's a great way.
It's like, these kids are getting the help and people are recognizing that they're, it is, but again, none of these kids are tough anymore.
Yeah.
They always talk about the Walking Dead and everything. Do you ever see the young kid like in charge of the people in the Walking Dead?
Yeah. Yeah.
They're the ones all messed up and running around getting killed. But you get old Rick Grimes, who's a squeaky
it's very realistic as
well,
honestly.
But like they said, the Rick Grimes, the old guy is like, hey, you follow me, I'm the sheriff. This is what we're gonna do. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom.
If you want to live, I got wisdom, but shut up and just follow me.
Exactly. But then you got, then you show the young kids and they're not surviving. They're becoming part of the problem.
Well, you got to have the older generation too, man. And I know a lot of the younger generation are hard on boomers, but there's a lot of wisdom in people that are the older generations that you have.
I love talking to old people.
Yeah.
Me too.
We know. So we had mentioned Mary Levan earlier.
Yeah.
Now, Mary Levan is one of the most incredible, amazing people you'd ever want to meet.
She's my hero.
So she's like 94.
Thanks for a text message real quick that I'm listening.
She's 95, and unfortunately, she fell and broke her hip finally. So that's going to apply, So that's really sad.
But she's in recovery.
in recovery. But this woman, up until that point, would literally walk 7 miles a day?
At least 5 miles.
At least 5 miles a day. Do yoga. Do all the
awesome.
Jenga. All the
Zumba.
Yeah, Zumba, Zamba, whatever. You bent yourself backwards for no apparent reason. But she did all that every day, and she's just a firecracker. She was getting she got a tattoo.
Yeah. She's got multiple ones now.
Yeah, but she just got one recently, and she's 95.
As
She
she
tells me
should.
all
As
the
she
time.
should.
She tells me all the time that everything you do should be fun. Don't do anything if it doesn't make you happy.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't make you happy, then reframe it so it does.
Yeah, and that's
deep.
And
That's
again,
deep.
and again, it's old people talk, but it's the last of a generation trying to pass on a little bit of that old school mentality. And you know what?
Exactly.
If we just take the new school mentality, throw a little bit of old school in it, just a
Make a
dash,
sandwich. Make a knowledge sandwich.
add a little.
I like that.
Add a little,
Knowledge.
a little side of sun on it. I mean, yeah, seriously, and just
I agree.
respect people.
I agree. What's a pool? We're all in this like consciousness human pool, and there's people that don't want to learn new information, and that's what the problem is. People are it's a fear response. People don't want to learn from the older generation because there's a certain level of arrogance.
The other thing, though, aside of it, though, thinking about is that there are. So to me, in every race, every type of person on this world, there's always a group of people within that race that just don't get it.
Sure.
And it darkens so much of what. I don't even know where I was going with this. I'm sorry. I just had this like really deep thought of just.
It's right there. It's right there. Oh, where'd it go?
I just don't understand people. I just be nice.
You know what I do when I don't understand what's going on, and I need advice, and I don't want to talk to anybody. I literally just go to the trees. I go to the trees because, like, because the brain can translate anything.
Yeah.
If it's all frequency and vibration, then you can translate anything. Okay.
Yeah.
So being able to talk to the trees is just being able to tune your brain into what it is. And like
they're coming
the
from
community inside of a tree, if you really think about inside of the tree and on the tree and in the branches and all of that, even if it's like especially a fruit bearing or nut bearing tree, it is remarkable what you can learn about community and like symbiosis.
Yeah.
From like just thinking about the trees.
Equilibrium. I think that's another reason people are messed up.
On my car.
Well, I think a lot of people are disconnected from nature, and
what is that?
Is that an app?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, we know that like we are electric beings, electromagnetic, really, but you need electricity. We literally operate on electricity, but we talk about nutrients and minerals, but we don't talk about what we really are.
I barely make it on electricity.
Yeah.
If we had no electricity in our bodies, we would not exist. So you go outside and you have to ground with nature. What are you saying?
Oh, when they do the EKG or whatever it is of the brain and the heart, the brain lights up as blue because of the amount of electricity going on with the synapses.
And that's fascinating.
And the heart comes up orange because it's literally like a furnace. Like with all that combustion going on in there.
Is mine a space heater then?
Basically.
He's got a heart condition. He's working on like 35%
heart attack. Woohoo!
So he's like down the minimum electricity and minimum
furnace on. Well, and that's the thing.
Taking heart medicine every day, trying to survive. Woohoo!
I feel you, bro. But people are disconnected from nature, and more than just like as a concept. I mean, literally, we wear shoes with rubber soles, which we use rubber to stop the connection with electricity, right? If you walk outside barefoot, you're going to get the natural free-flowing electrons from the grass, the trees. You're literally absorbing electrons, and your body needs electrons for your nerves, your neurons to connect. And they've actually done studies, like actual lab studies, of people who have joint issues and inflammation issues and immune system issues. They say, okay, we're going to take a 7-week-long study. Just go outside and walk around in the grass barefoot. And then 70% of those people that were part of that study, they did a placebo as well, but 70% of the people that walked around outside barefoot with inflammation issues, joint issues, had a giant transformational thing happen to where like the inflammation in their body just shrank. In some cases, completely disappeared, and they felt like a new person. It's electricity. Yeah. People are disconnected from nature, and even electrolytes. We talk about water being hydrational. It's actually electrolytes. You need to have those electrolytes for your body to get electricity. And anyway, we went on a bit of a tangent, but what you're talking about with we need to reconnect, not only with nature but with each other.
Yes.
And that is the biggest thing for civil discourse, is we got to reconnect, get the juju flowing again. You know, the creative, the fun, the energetic, and all that stuff. How much energy you guys got?
Why are we so serious?
Yeah, why so serial?
Like, for real, why are we so serious?
Because it's trending and people don't know how to disconnect from that place.
I think, yeah, because the capitalism aspects of it is like the most serious thing part of it, because I never, as a kid, before you have those aspects of job and lack of self and bills and.
What are we talking about? I'm sorry, I was distracted. My kid came home.
In my opinion, capitalism is one of the things that like hinders the American people and community the most.
Yeah, well, that's the big divide between socialism and capitalism, because capitalism talks about you can go out there and get it, you can make your business, but socialism says, okay, but if we're going to make that business, who's getting left behind? And we're looking at this weird time in society where like, okay, capitalism does work to an extent, but why we need to take care of people. We can't just have all these billionaires and millionaires while the middle class and and people in poverty in the lower class are taking care of everybody, but not being taken care of themselves.
Yeah, but people like my mom don't believe that a new form of socialism could emerge that wouldn't be anything but the form that has already existed, that has driven their economies and culture into the ground. And I mean, is it ground? Yeah, she's got a good point, but it's a whole new generation of people with a whole new sets of ideas.
Mm-hmm.
To shoot them down from the beginning is to say, I don't believe in you. And it makes me angry, you know, because like,
dark.
How dare
that's negligence. Yeah, and because you have to be open-minded to listen to people, even people that you don't agree with, especially people you don't agree with. Those are the people we need to listen to more, right? Because when we listen to somebody that doesn't necessarily have the same views, and they get to the end of what they're saying, it feels good that they said it, and they're going to be much more likely to listen to what you have to say. But, you know, Republicans screaming at Democrats, Democrats screaming at Republicans, no one's listening. It's just two megaphones shouting, and literally nothing happens other than.
No, that's the problem. People are listening. The government, these two parties have become the disruptive, dysfunctional parents, and we are the children that are bearing witness to this whole thing.
Just like in the past, they're not listening to the children who have the fresh ideas. They're saying, you're wrong. We don't have to listen to you.
You got to stick to what we know and what we tell you. You can't formulate new ideas.
Yeah, I don't know.
But we can.
I'm very saddened by this time.
I am too. They're not even giving us candidates that are like legitimate.
Yeah,
there is no good candidate surfacing that would be good for our people.
It totally boils down to which type, how much crazy do you want?
Right.
That's literally that's literally what the election boils down to, is how much craziness.
It's going to be educational though, because if you look at it, like, we should be able to get the perfect candidate. For even the Democrats should have a perfect candidate. The Republicans should have a perfect candidate. If one day they allow a third party to really be okay with libertarians or whatever, they should have that. But people are still voting old school. You know, they're still believing that we're in like the JFK times, and then far rights are still believing that like we have great, solid, traditional Republicans. And honestly, all the Republicans I've seen because I study both sides, like intricately. And I've been watching Nikki Haley, and she's psycho, and then I'll look on the left, and I'm like, dude, I don't believe in any of these Democrats either, because it's like somebody's gonna change the conversation. Everyone's just doing like political hashtags, talking points. It's either gun rights or abortion rights, or it's healthcare or lack thereof, and everyone's been saying the same thing, but no one ends up doing it. You know.
So let me interject on this.
Sure.
So with presidents.
Yes.
And again, I came up in the age of Nixon,
Nixon.
Ford, Carter,
Reaganomics,
Bush, Clinton, Bush, Obama, you know, to that, then to Biden. Yeah. So it's like we have like every 2 to 3 presidents like really mess things up.
Yeah.
You know, for a lot of people, you know, one way or the other, to differing degrees. You know, but this election is it's one of those elections where we have to bite the bullet as a people, which sucks. Which in this day and age,
we don't.
No, we don't. You don't have to pick the lesser of two evils. You can popularize a third option.
I'm wondering why we haven't stood up and said, why are you giving us shit options? Give us something better, or we're just gonna like.
I understand that. I understand your guys' point of view, and I totally respect your point of view. But at some point, this is going to happen. We have to accept as a reality that this bullshit is about to go down. None of us want it. Everybody wants to move forward. Everybody wants the better candidate. Everybody wants the better government. I get it. But at this point, November is literally right around the corner. We have to accept the bullshit reality eat the bullshit sandwich.
No, we don't.
I understand. Dude, I understand.
I get what you're saying. You're coming from realism. You're saying this is how the pinnacle of
this is going to play out this way.
Yeah.
No matter how much we wish and and philosophize about this way, this could happen.
Okay, but my question is, why do we have to accept that? Why can't we just stand up and say, hey, yo, this is bullshit. Yeah. Give us a real freaking candidate, or you're going to have to actually pay this time. Because it would only take one of the rich people, Nigel. Only one.
Yeah.
Only one. And it would be done.
Because they would all change the conversation.
And I'm not saying I like condone it, because I don't. But I'm just being literal with you. Want to be literal? I'm being literal.
Yeah.
It doesn't take much. Yeah. They are scared little cowards because they know we outnumber them. You've seen the bug's life. We're the fucking ants.
Yeah, but I just want to know why the Supreme Court has on their docket to talk about presidential immunity, that a president can have total immunity. Why are we talking about that?
Well,
that's what I'm talking about. Well, that craziness should have never.
We all remember Watergate. Like, you can't have.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Exactly. But how did it get to this point? How did it get to this point?
Because people sat down and they didn't stand back up and do anything about it.
Well, people just want to be entertained. Their only option.
That's still not doing anything about it.
No,
if they're being entertained, of course, they're not going to do anything about it.
Of course, if you're watching your favorite TV show, and they change it, you're like, hey, what the heck? They changed the character. But if it's just the same thing over and over, you just keep watching it. You just become numb to it. And this is what we are. We are numb to why. How in the world is somebody saying or pleading a case that they have total immunity from law? And again, I don't care if you like the law or don't like the law, if you're an anarchist, if you're whoever you are, whatever you believe in, there has to be a line. There has to be a limit. And there's not a single freaking person on this damn earth that is above human decent law.
Okay.
And this clown, this son of a bitch and clown, is just walking all over this. And
we're getting gray water, bro. We got to keep it green. We got to keep it.
I'm sorry.
You're good. No, you're good. No, you're good.
Totally sorry.
I love the passion. You're good, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with passion. These are important conversations.
Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't.
No, you don't have to apologize for it. Nothing happened. I'm just saying we gotta keep floating. We're good. Passion is a good thing, but you can go down that K-hole. You know what I'm saying? Because you're passionate about what's going on with Trumpsky, and we're talking about wanting a new concept, but we're not left with any good political candidates that are being highlighted. But go ahead.
It's frustrating.
It is frustrating, but we have to, as a people, find the light at the end of the tunnel. And the light is we have to popularize things that are no longer popular, right? That's the issue we have with these pinnacles of left or right. And they're like, well, I always have to vote for the lesser of two evils.
I hear that all the time.
But that's not, we have to popularize other options. We have, you know what I mean?
I agree.
I totally agree.
And what you're saying, Nigel, is like, but the realism, this is the sandwich we got to eat.
We as humans are just not there yet. We're just not there.
See, I don't believe that.
No, we're not.
I don't believe that. I think there's a large group of people that are there. It's just we keep hearing we're not there yet.
They don't have the voice yet.
It can't happen unless there are two evils. But I want to choose to believe that we are there and it's happening right now and it's going to continue to happen so that it will happen.
Exactly. It's reactivating a sleeping lion is what's going on, is because
the sleeper has awakened.
Okay. we gotta reactivate people who are passionate and they're sick of all this bullshit. You have to reactivate these people and be like, you can make if one person can affect another person, you can affect a group. If a group can affect a city can affect a state can affect the country, one country can affect the whole planet. And it starts with one or two people. You could start grassroots movements if you're like, I don't want to pick either of these sons of bitches. I don't like either of them, whatever's going on. And you literally have choice. Choice is always yours to take. Now people will say if you vote for a third party or somebody you believe in, it's throwing a vote away. And I think that is bullshit.
I hear that all the time.
Even if you're fairly certain they're not going to win, you're investing in a concept, and you're talking about, I didn't just accept this person. You change the conversation with other people in the future that you're going to have. And you're like, no. I knew I probably wasn't going to win with my candidate, but what I did was I planted a seed. And this seed needs to sprout, and I'm going to keep talking about these other people that I'm voting for, whether they win right now or not in the next election. It's an idea that's growing, and we just have to keep talking. Like Pink Floyd would say, just keep talking, That's all I got.
And ended on the Floyd.
Yeah.
You gotta love a good Pink Floyd song.
Myself, I'm getting a little sleepy. My juju's going down. You guys got anything else you want to throw in here? Any ideas or any places you want people to link up with you if you want to do podcasts on other platforms with other people?
We're on Night of Living Jam on YouTube. Nigel David Productions is also on. I actually have a YouTube channel that's just got like samples of my work and
cool. I'll follow that too. Yeah,
stuff like that. It's just like a sample. It's like a portfolio page, basically.
Yeah.
Night of Living Jam
is on Facebook.
On Facebook and Instagram.
Gotcha.
And then I have my personal page, Monica Kizmarchek, which is a public profile.
Yeah.
It's got my art that I do. And I've been doing poetry reels with my poetry.
Cool.
And like I live by a marsh, and it's a bird sanctuary, and it's one of the most beautiful places in the world. And it's all about like rebirth and the destruction. And it's beautiful. And so I'll do like an angry poem, and it's just like trees in the marsh, and I just found a beaver dam. So one of my next ones is going to have a little beaver dam that I found.
Oh, cool.
That I videoed. Yeah.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Oh my God, I'm so fucking angry series. Because it's like a really long poem.
Green.
But it's got. No, I don't mean green like not cussing. Fuck that. No, like I ain't never gonna be able to not cuss. I don't know if I'll ever get that professional. No, I meant like we gotta stay green, just good juju. You know what I mean? Flow state. We slid.
See, that's how far out. That's how far out. I didn't even get that. Like, I'm still trying to figure out what tea is. Like, isn't that like some kind of like?
Oh no, what that means is the truth. But people say tea, and they'll be like, "Oh, give me the tea."
Give me the tea. Give me the info. 411.
Sometimes it refers to gossip, and sometimes it refers to, well, somebody told me this, but do you know the actual truth?
So there's not an actual thing of Arizona tea coming my way, then basically.
It's a pond.
None of us brings it
pool. There's many different explanations for tea. Yes.
There's a lot.
That's more like the drag race definition of tea.
Yeah, like the grapevine.
all that slang stuff and green, and I don't get it. I'm just old. I'm sorry. I'm just old.
Oh man, no, you fine, sir. You got to represent your juju. You are A-okay. You ain't old. You are young, and you've got all the energy. You're doing great, sir.
You're not old until you die.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to tell yourselves you are young, and they will believe.
No. I love my age. I do. I love being old.
Yeah,
I
that's
do.
the cool thing about growing up is kind of like really starting to resonate with your own energy in that age.
Yeah.
I think
I have a lot more fun now and a lot more cool clothes than I ever thought. And if my 13-year-old self was like, if I told her that I was going to dress up like a clown and do music with a shark and like perform in a band and like do podcasts and like do like weird stuff at Rocky Horror in Abundance and like it, I would have laughed at you. I would have laughed.
Awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
To put this in context, all that what she just said in context.
Yes.
Took one time, one meeting, one empty seat.
Yeah.
That needs to be a play. That needs to be.
And you know what? When I went to Paul Henry's and the first time I went there was the first time he went there. And it was only one.
So that was a first for both of you also.
Yeah.
And the thing is,
we have the same birthday. We are creative art partners. We do all kinds of shit together. We're best friends.
And the thing is, you know, the culmination of all the work we've done with the auto workers and, you know, and then filming a president.
Yeah.
You know, whether you like the president or not.
Oh yeah. Fuck that. That's epic. That's
you know,
this is awesome.
We were in the room with governors and talking. They were talking
literally multiple people. Like when I say multiple, I mean 2 state representatives.
Pritzker, we talked and
There's
hung
a lot
out with
of
Pritzker.
juju, a lot of energy in there.
And the mayor of Chicago.
Yeah.
And Lori. No.
Tony
Pretwickle.
Yeah.
And like the president of the UAW.
Yeah, Sean Fain.
And like, I mean, like big people.
The
and we love
the USA.
And I'm just standing there with my phone going, holy crap.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm doing. I feel like I'm in the way. And this aide is standing next to me going, I feel like that too. And I'm just like, thank you.
I mean, it's so cool.
Are we doing okay? Am I good? Are you good? You're doing great.
Yeah, they're like, we're good. It's like, yeah.
Wait, hang on. Hang on.
Yeah, we have lanyards from this shit.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
So like we were in charge. Like
of media.
Basically we were in charge of media for 551.
Yeah.
So like Channel 5, all the major news stations would wait for me to get there, and I'd pull up and they would come up to my car. Like these are news reporters.
Yeah.
Comes where it was, when's Chris gonna talk? When's this and that? And I'm like, dude, hang on right here. I'm just rode in here and let me go in, and talk. And then I would go out and I'd be like, the coolest thing I did though with that, the media had set out outside. They had set up all their cameras. They did everything. They were all set and ready. And Chris is like, I need to do this inside in front of this. So he's like, go tell them. I'm like, dude, I'm not even part of your union or anything. So I had to go down.
Don't put that on me, man.
and tell the media or from around the world.
Yeah.
Pack your stuff up and follow me.
Dude, on the first day of the job, videotaping this stuff, I was standing in front of a semi truck with like 6 Ford SUVs on the back of it, illegally coming into the place.
Oh, that's
just videoing it like, and they're honking at me, and I'm just like not moving out of the way.
Giving you guys a heads up, we have a minute and a half before it chops us off. Because
well, I guess that.
But in the future, when we do another one, we're gonna have to use a different app so we don't have time limits because this is ridiculous.
Well, either way, I think, I'm so happy, and MK is just,
like this is destined. Like what we're doing right now is like destined.
And dude,
you're walking in the right space.
That means you're destined.
That's right, man. That's right, baby. We are aligned. The juju is aligned.
We really appreciate
aligned and online.
That's right. That's right. Well, MK and Nigel, it was lovely having you guys on here. And we're going to do another one of these ASAP, because you guys have fun, great energy, and I would love to have you back on.
Yay!
Absolutely, yeah. Let us know, and we'll send you a list of other people that you might be interested in.
Yeah, just send me some messages.
And dude, thanks for giving us the platform. It's weird because we're always the ones.
26 seconds.
We're always the ones that give us things.
Yeah.
Love yourselves. Love yourselves. Love somebody.
All the love.
That's it. Just love somebody, people.
There you go. Hearts to everybody. Hearts to everybody.
Heart hands.
Heart hands.
Clap hands. Clap hands. Now
High fives.
We'll have to tell you the story about the heart hands next time.
Oh, that's a
And
thing.
the life rolls.
We have stories.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
All right.